through different things today.
Yeah.
The country is more divided than it ever has been.
Right.
And this is what it teaches us, how to interact with individuals who may come from different cultures, different ethnicities, different orientations, and it helps us to make sure that we're going to create comfort for those individuals when we have an opportunity to work with them. So it's a course that certainly NAR promotes, but I think all of us, and every time I've taught it, I've had this said by at least a few, every realtor needs to take this course.
Agreed.
Okay, because it teaches us so much. So, and I just want to add one more thing before I pass the mic. You know, I see some men in here, and I know we've been saying.
First and foremost, I think it teaches us how to not offend people. More important, you're going to learn, it's going to help your business. But the last thing we want to do is offend. And so just from the perspective, I'm going to take the course to learn, you have to take it and listen and understand it. Don't take it for the designation only. That's not helpful if you're still going to have the designation and it offends somebody and they say, well, what was this all about? I think having a designation opens the doors to people as you meet them to say that I am open to diversity, I am open to equity, I'm open to inclusion. And I want you to understand that if I have a question to ask, I'm only asking it to learn from you personally and not to, so that I don't offend you. So it's important to be able to know how to ask those questions, and that's part of the course too.
I tell you why it's so important, besides the fact of how it pertains to real estate. As a realtor, as an advocate, as someone that helps someone invest in the biggest investment of their life, but their lifestyle as well. Think of it as a domino effect. Okay, so I'll give you a scenario. If we're not up to par and are not educated on diversity, equity, inclusion, and cultural stuff, I have a family that can only afford to be in a particular place, for example, right? And I know that the demographic there is, let's say, for example, this is little Armenia, or this is Koreatown, or Chinatown, or India, and how the separation of community has happened. So if I put a family in a particular demographic, which I'm not aware of, for example, I think of how is that okay, they would close escrow, how's this gonna affect their lifestyle and their children now? See, I'm the kind of broker that, for me, it's not about the money or closing the deal. Of course, I like to make money, but if it's not the right fit, it's not the right thing. If I'm not educated enough about these topics to sit and have a heart-to-heart with my clients, I'm doing a disservice. So we have to take that into consideration, because this DEI that we're enforcing so much, we're at the tip of the iceberg. We don't see the iceberg. We don't see the ripple effect on our children, on our grandchildren. If you don't have children, on your nieces and nephews. If you don't have nieces and nephews, on your friends' children. There are people committing suicide. There's children killing themselves because of this. It shouldn't be. So where do we begin? Do we begin from the bottom and move up? Do we begin from the top and move down? But we as realtors have a very vital role in lifestyles, right? Not just in selling a home. So the question is it important to do the work? I think it should be mandatory.
Right.
It should be a mandatory thing for realtors to understand that the step you take is a domino that you knock down. And it's better for you to know the third and fourth and fifth and how this is going to affect the family, because you position someone somewhere that you're not aware of can really tear up a family and have a very negative home buying experience and lifestyle for someone. Mandatory.
Thank you so much. I wish to get that in the mandatory for buyers and sellers. For buyers and sellers to do that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.